Hey, what's up? I was kind of, I've only been out of high school for about a year now, a little bit more than a year, and I thought I should probably just get some of my awkward high school stories down now before I forget about them. Uh, but yeah, this one was pretty traumatizing to me at the time. Like I was scared. Anyway, so in high school, I took video classes. Doing short films, but we would also do broadcasting. We would broadcast like sporting events live to tape, sporting events like football, soccer, basketball, all that. And my first year in the advanced video class, which is when you get into the broadcasting, my first year, uh, I was obviously really nervous going in because it's a lot of new stuff that you got to learn. But my very first time helping them set up a broadcast, we have to roll all the equipment out of the building out to the stadium. And on the way out, once you get outside the building and you're going to the stadium, there's a lot of bumpy road, which is inconvenient. But my very first time helping them roll out, uh, I, being the moron I am, pick the biggest piece of equipment there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna roll that one out to the stadium. What it was we called it Big Blue, and it's a like a 6 foot tall tower. It's got all the monitors for the broadcast. It controls all the controls for like the cameras and stuff. Like it's it's like the piece of equipment, right? It like everything is routed to this basically. Like it's the hub kind of. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pick this one. So it's like 6 foot tall, and at the time I was probably I want to maybe 5'6" ish, so I was smaller. I didn't weigh a lot, and I decided that and this thing's heavy, and so I decided I was gonna push it, which you know seemed like a good idea at the time. I decided I was gonna push it. So we're pushing it out there, and I get through the building okay because it's all flat and smooth. But once we get outside the building, I'm pushing it, and there's on the sidewalk there's a lip about that big, and the wheel catches on that lip, and because I'm pushing it and I'm small, this thing starts to tip, and I can feel it tipping. It's like at this point my life is moving in slow motion. I can feel it tipping, and I'm doing everything I can to hold it up, but I'm small, like I'm a small guy, and this thing just goes right into the ground, and it was loud as shit, and yeah, it hit the ground, and my stomach hit the ground with it. Like, I honestly, I wish I could have somehow thrown myself underneath it and been crushed rather than let it fall to the ground. It was the most terrifying moment of my life, and my stomach just dropped, and when it hit the ground, I was just staring at the ground like, oh shit. And everybody just stops and like spotlights, all the eyes come to me, and I'm like, oh god. Like this was probably in my first month and a half of being in the class, and I didn't know a lot of the people in there. So like I was trying to make friends, and doing something like that was not the best way to go about it. And it hits the ground, and everybody's looking at me, and I'm like, uh my jaw hit the floor, and Mr. Foster, the video teacher, comes over and he picks it up, and he did an amazing job keeping his cool. If I had been him, I would have lost my mind, but he just pulled that thing up, just straight face, just took that thing in, and I was like frozen, like it was horrifying. I was like, oh, I was praying. I was like, please, dear baby Jesus, just let this thing work. Oh God, it was terrifying. And it did work. Later on, it was fine. It had some scratches on the outside, but it was fine. And I was like, so relieved. You don't even know. Like, my life flashed before my eyes and everything. And like, when we were walking back to the classroom from the stadium after we'd roll the stuff out, like I was just like it was an out of body experience. I was doing everything I could to just keep my legs underneath me, so I didn't just fall over. Like I just was mortified, and I just like sat there like frozen in horror the rest of the class period, and then left. But yeah, that was an incredibly awkward and terrifying and just awful experience that I had in video. I went on to have an amazing time. I loved all 4 years that I was in video, and it was great. But yeah, that experience was definitely one of the most terrifying, very awkward experiences in my high school career. So, note to self and note to you in the future: if you're ever carrying some, or if you're ever pushing something with wheels that's real heavy, what you should do is pull it, not push it, so that way if it starts to tip, you can kind of get under it and push up. Yeah, because when you push it, it's gonna go whether you want it to or not. Um, but yeah, definitely, I tipped Big Blue, and I thought my life was over. I survived, obviously, but yeah, that was a pretty crazy high school story. I wasn't the only one in my high school career who tipped Big Blue. One of my friends did too. The year after that, one of my friends tipped Big Blue, and uh, that was that was actually a lot funnier. But I'm not going to tell that story because that's somebody else's story to tell, and I don't want to embarrass anyone. But yeah, uh, don't push heavy things, pull them. Yeah. Awkward high school, which was basically my whole high school story. So when I say I had an awkward high school experience, I mean all of them because, yeah, I was an awkward kid. But yeah, hope you enjoyed my little rambling story about me being an idiot, and I hope you learned from it. Alright, guys, I will see you later. Bye.